The moment I realized, oh, this is going to help me.
My luck had kind of run out.
We're not just junkies, we're human beings.
Deserving of a life without chaos.
Connect with others so you can get that community.
If I can help save any lives, that's what I'm here to do.
Welcome back to the Step by Step podcast, where we look at OAT journeys story by story. Today's episode, the daily routine.
So you have like a bit of a routine.
I get up in the morning. I actually eat breakfast.
I have to go to the pharmacy every day to take it, but that is what it is.
Now, all I do is go to a pharmacy and I pick up my dose, and I don't have symptoms of withdrawal. I don't have cravings like I used to. I don't feel worthless anymore.
OAT can help people who have opioid use disorder find stability, improve functioning, manage withdrawal symptoms, and work towards recovery.
All those things nurse practitioner April said ring true for me. Because when I got on OAT, I also got connected to other people who were also trying to turn their lives around. Meeting Sasha was a big upside for me.
Aw, thanks, Sam. I know for me, getting a counselor along with the peer groups was huge when I started OAT. And now working with you on this podcast has been really great. OAT can help you manage cravings and withdrawals, gain stability, and reduce or quit using street drugs. By providing a safer, predictable medication, being on OAT could save your life.
Okay, let's go through it for our listeners. Every one of these different OAT meds has different ways of taking it. There are pros and cons for each one, and every person responds differently to medications. Suboxone, one pill placed under the tongue to dissolve. Do not swallow. Pros, most pharmacies have it. It's usually easier to get carries, and there's a lower risk of overdose. Cons, if you take Suboxone while you still have other opioids in your system, it can cause you to go into sudden moderate to severe withdrawal, called precipitated withdrawal. To prevent this, you may have to stop using opioids entirely, and you need to be in withdrawal to find the correct dose for you. But microdosing can help with that.
Microdosing is helping tremendously when taking Suboxone. Microdosing means you'll be prescribed small doses of Suboxone every day, gradually increasing the dose for 6 to 7 days. OAT is constantly evolving to provide more options.
Methadone comes in syrupy liquid form, usually provided in a cup. Requires daily witnessed ingestion by a pharmacist.
Carries are when you're given a few days' doses of your OAT meds to take home. They just put the medication into a regular pharmacy bag, and you get to carry them with you.
Pros, you don't have to stop using opioids to take methadone. Cons, to taper off methadone requires slow dose reductions over several weeks or months. It can be very hard to do. There's also some risk of overdose due to loss or lack of tolerance. Sublocade, injection form of Suboxone, taken once a month. Injected under your skin and the stomach area with a freezing agent. Once inside the body, it turns into a gel that gradually dissolves and releases buprenorphine at a controlled rate all month. The pros are that it lasts for 1 month. There's no need for carries or daily pharmacy visits. Cons, it may make a visible bump for some people as it dissolves. It also requires a specially trained service provider to administer. It can also be painful to receive the injection. Cadian comes in capsules containing beads. The beads are mixed with a thicker liquid like yogurt or applesauce, or it can be chucked back with water. Also requires daily witness ingestion by a pharmacist. Pros, you don't have to stop using opioids to start using Cadian. Cons, everyday trip to the pharmacist. There is a risk of overdose. It's difficult to obtain carries, but not impossible. And if consecutive doses are missed, the prescription will be canceled.
IOT comes in an injection form of hydromorphone, or medically prescribed heroin. This is supervised self-administration at a clinic. This form of OAT is usually only for those with severe opioid use disorder. There are limits to the amount taken per dose and per day. The pros are access to a safe environment and controlled supply, access to healthcare teams for dose adjustment and other primary care needs. Going to a clinic several times a day can also provide stability. Cons: requires several trips a day to have injections supervised. It can also be harder to access. There's a poster you can download that lists all these OAT options with more detail.
The beginning when I started Cadian, I was still using. So it helped me use a lot less because I had the Cadian in my system. On the days that I tried to not use, I wouldn't feel the dope sickness, and it definitely helped because when I wasn't on any oat, the days that I wouldn't use, even though I really, really wanted to not use, as soon as I woke up and I felt sick, it was so terrible for me that it wasn't even in my head. It wasn't like oh, I just want to use because I want to numb or I want to get high. It was more so I just want to use because I feel so sick right now.
Managing my withdrawals, helping me to get back into the swing of things and help me not to be thinking so much about going back to the drug scene or going back to the streets or the same people. It gives me more of a sense of well-being so that I can move forward.
Because I was in active addiction for so long, I didn't have a lot of structure in my life. And I needed to have structure while taking Cadian because I needed to make sure that I was getting up at the same time in order for me to be able to get my Cadian and then go to work.
It can be a challenge to sometimes actually wake up and make your way over there, because if you don't have bus fare or you have a kid or something, there's definitely some challenges that can arise. They'll just give you your dose for the day and then you drink it. And personally, I like to give it a bit of a rinse with water to get all the rest of it. If you have caries, they'll give it to you in a little pharmacy bag.
Cadian, it's in a capsule, and there were so many capsules to take because I was on such a high dose. So what my pharmacy ended up doing was opening the capsules, putting them in a cup, and I would just chuck it back with some water.
It was definitely challenging to have to go to the pharmacy every single day and have to spend 15 or 20 minutes in there once you have your dose, making sure you absorb it under your tongue. It was also good because it was sort of something to keep me accountable to myself and to my goals.
All of us have found that when we are more stable, not feeling that chaos, we can start to make more plans and follow our dreams. But it's not without challenges. That's what our next episode takes on: side effects. Thanks for watching. See you next time.